Welcome to Frame by Frame, where we dive deep into the world of photography and videography, exploring stories, tips, and techniques from world-renowned photographers from all over the globe. Join us as we uncover the heart behind the lens. And today we have got the heart himself. This is Stephen Segal, and I'm a content creator on behalf of Nikon. We're doing this amazing podcast to be able to explore and show the journeys that photographers and videographers take when they create the ultimate work. So we've got an amazing man with me right now, an amazing creative, Hashmid. Shahid. Sorry, I apologize. Welcome to our show. How are you doing?
Thank you, Stephen, and hello, people. What a pleasure it is to be here and in this awesome show, and my brand, Nikon, inviting me to share a part of my journey and part of my photography. Thank you so much. Feels awesome.
It's absolutely amazing to have you here. I absolutely love your work, and I'm so honored to have you on this podcast with us. So tell me, I'd love to know the story behind where your love for photography started and what camera you started with.
So actually, it started way back in the days of film, and that too black and white film. And my first weapon of passion was the Nikon FM2.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a solid metal camera, okay, and film camera, and I still shoot with that whenever I get time. Only the issue is that it's so become difficult to get the film processed, but whenever I get a chance, I do use it. So that was the one which I started with.
Unbelievable. And how has the world changed, from obviously film to this digital era?
Yeah, so then it so happened that I came to Dubai to work, and there my passion for photography grew even further, because UAE is a very fertile land for following your passion for whatever you have. It provides you all the options. So I kept adding to my gear. I bought lenses, and I changed the body. I bought F5,
Okay.
which is like a
Beautiful.
more automatic automatic motor, and automatic exposure and all that, which was not there in the two. So that kept growing, and then came the invasion of digital.
I like that, the invasion.
So nobody could save themselves from that. And I also succumbed, and I bought a D70. That was my first digital that I bought here. And I kept progressing D70S, which I have now converted, actually D70S and D200, which I have now converted to infrared photography.
Beautiful.
And I still use those. And right now, I've gone further.
Yes.
And I have, now I shoot with D850.
Oh, stunning camera.
In between, there was a D800E also.
Yes.
So that also I have.
Oh, that D850 also is such a beautiful camera. I
Yeah.
love it. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And tell me, from a photographic point of view, do you remember your first image and the first few years that you started with photography?
Yeah, actually, so I shot a lot of black and white photos of my university back in India.
Oh, wow.
And I have them on Flickr also. And this is the Aligarh Muslim University. It's a very known university. All over the world, we have our alumni. And they all get in touch with me, because whenever we have any gathering, when we have any function, they download those photos of university and they show it in their gatherings and meetings, which I have made free for people, especially alumni, to use in any of their gatherings. So that's such a pleasure.
That is unbelievable. So have you always, I know you're in documentary photography and you're
Yeah.
moving into videography. Tell me the documentary side of things. Why documentary photography?
So it has to do a lot with, when we were growing up, we had such strong cultural things happening on the street, in the towns, in the villages. Like when I used to walk to my school from my home, on the roadside we had shows happening. These gypsies doing their shows, the monkey man doing his shows. There were snake charmers. They were doing their shows. Just next to my house, these gypsies from Rajasthan, they used to come and pitch up their tents, and they would perform their dances, and their men would they were the ironsmiths. So whenever you have to get anything, your pan made, your shovel made, your knives made, you go to them and they used to make these for you. And when I grew up and when I slowly saw all those things, they just disappeared. They they went away. Food vans came in, markets came in, all those empty places got filled up. There was no space for these people. So then I realized that all that charm and all those things we are losing are, children and the future generation. They are not having to see those things live. They only see them in museums or in zoos or in protected areas or in a place which we create and we call it a heritage village or a heritage
Can you believe?
destination. So I said, before all of this is gone, why not I start documenting and keeping a history of the things that uh, were there, and for people to see and take inspiration from.
I absolutely love that. A lot of us think that things will never change, and I mean, especially in Dubai, UAE, things
Yeah.
are changing daily. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever you travel, you come back and you're like, something new's happened. I
Yeah.
love it that you took that upon yourself to be able to do it.
Yeah, even in Abu Dhabi, we had a Dow building and Dow repairing area right opposite where we have the Emirates Palace Hotel now. And that was such an amazing, awesome place. Obviously, it gave way to the new development. It's gone, but we have all of that documented. We have all of that history in photographs with us. Yeah.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Tell me, when you're going out, do you have a preconceived idea of what you want to document, or are you walking the streets and then suddenly you see something, you think, okay, this is something I want to engage with?
No, so as opposed to other things, a documentary photography takes a forethought, because you start selecting your subject. You start selecting that what you want to document. Of course, when you're walking, you do take pictures.
Yeah.
But then when you are saying, okay, I'm doing a documentary, so you approach it as a project and you research about it, you go into history and you look at other work that has happened and you try and address that. What are the pain points, if you in business we
Yeah.
call that.
Cool.
Identify that. So what is the issue? If you are into conservation, you documenting disappearing forests.
Yes.
So you research that and you understand that what are the thing, how this community is affected, what are their thoughts, how they are suffering, what impact it's having on their lives, so that you can then be their voice, capture that and highlight that and present to people in an interesting way. So a little bit of research and thinking about what you want to share, what you want to show, from what perspective you want to show it, and how you want to kind of create a story around it, so that not only interests people, but also kind of evokes kind of emotions in them, so that they feel like doing something about it.
I love it. So that you're looking for obviously an action from the story that you're telling.
Yeah, that's the kind of objective. of
Gotcha.
doing a project. Obviously, on one side you are kind of documenting and preserving history for future generations
Yes.
to come and see, but at the same time, if you are tackling issues, then you kind of present it in a way so that you tell people to you do something about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. So, just those of you that are busy watching this podcast, we've got Shahid here. He's an amazing documentary photographer and he's starting to go into videography as well. We're at the Exposure Expo right here in Sharjah. So, if you want to come and visit the Nikon stand, come and have a look. We've got Nikon School here that's doing workshops, as well as we've got demo stands where we're doing photo and video. So, just catching up, and this is frame by Nikon. Anyway, so getting back into the storytelling of obviously your documentary side of things. Is there a blurred line between telling your story and telling the actual story? Do you believe that people can blur that? What is your outlook on that?
Very important question and very pertinent. Yes. So, you know, that's the difference between, I would say, reportage and documentary. So in reportage or in news, you have to show the story as it is happening. But in documentary, you have to bring in a narrative which kind of becomes the voice of that cause, and it portrays that story from that point of view. So it's not about the story, but it is about how you tell that story. That makes all the difference, and that gives a purpose and a benefit to that cause that you are kind of trying to document and present through your photography, through your project, whatever you want to call it.
That is the best description of what you're obviously doing with regards to documentary. Again, I love what you're doing. I love your work.
Yeah.
Tell me, again, with regards to the documentary side of things as well. So, what has been one of the stories that has really stood out for you? One that's close to your heart?
So, yeah, there are several I can think of, and it's always about it's about people. So it's a project which I did not do,
Okay.
but that has impacted me a lot. Okay, so it's a story of a tribe called Dongriya Kond
Okay.
in Odisha state of India, and I have a whole presentation. It's part of my presentation, which maybe we can show later.
Yeah.
It is so much like the movie Avatar. Okay, and people say that Avatar was based on this, but there are always stories. So this tribe, they live in the mountains and they have a mountain. This mountain is their lifeline. Okay, so the forests, they give them the food, the fruits, the medicine that they use in their daily lives. And that mountain is rich in bauxite. Okay, so comes in a factory, industry, which is put just next to that mountain, and they need that bauxite to run their factory.
Oh my goodness.
So they form a resistance group, these tribals. They fight this industry. So many of their tribals died during that, and so many celebrities got involved, governments got involved, and they said they cannot take our mountain away from us because without the mountain, we die. Said we eat free here, wherever we want. We have free water. So that bauxite, it absorbs moisture and converts it into mineral-rich water.
Unreal.
And those streams, they flow, which irrigate their fields.
Yeah.
And feed. They drink that water and they use it for cooking. They said it's much better than what you buy in bottles.
Unreal.
Yeah. So you cannot come and take our land, and they fought and drove that corporation away from their lands. So it is so amazing. It shows the power of all those journalists who brought that story to life, presented it to the world,
Unreal.
and what an impact. So I kind of got get inspired, and I'm working a lot in the northeast of India.
Okay.
Okay, so in India there are we don't have a real count of how many tribes we have, because there are tribes and
Yes.
sub-tribes, and
Okay.
then so like in northeast, in Nagaland alone there are 18 tribes,
Wow.
16 tribes. In Assam they have like the 40, 50 tribes.
Yes.
So if I spend a lifetime, I will not be able to kind of
Capture
cover
everything. Yeah.
all of them, but whatever I can, I'm trying. And what lovely stories. So, like, there is an island called Majuli. It was the largest inhabited island in the Asia.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a mine of culture,
Okay.
and they have these. They call them satras,
Okay.
which is the sects.
Okay.
Okay, so they have their own style of dances.
Okay.
And they have their own style of dressing up.
Yeah.
They have the food, and it is so rich that I was doing a project for the Assam Tourism
Okay.
Board, and I mean, you don't want to return from such a place. You want to be just there and keep discovering
Yeah.
and documenting, because people don't know. And in the interiors, even you need two interpreters.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Because they cannot even directly talk to each other, because there's so much of diversity
Wow.
there, and
So interesting.
they just live off the land, off nature. They say only thing that we buy is salt, nothing
That's
else.
unreal.
Nothing
Unreal.
else. Yeah.
That is unreal. But now you've also got a documentary that you did. Can we have a look at that if possible?
Yeah, so
I'll-
this is
Let's get it for you so long.
so like this is a project which I got to do.
Let's put it here so that we
yeah.
can get a nice shot of this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So tell me more about this.
Yeah, so this was for Haryana Police,
Okay.
and I did it during the second wave
Okay.
of COVID.
Okay. I got it.
So I was approached by them, and they asked me that we have a project for you, but it is risky.
Okay.
Do you want to do it? I said, what is the project? And they said, we want you to travel to the hotspots of COVID,
Wow.
and we want you to document as our personnel is serving them, because people know us only as police who is wielding these sticks
Yes,
and
yeah.
driving putting people in jail, but there is much more to our lives than only this.
Yes.
Because whenever anybody needs anything during lockdown, they call us.
Yeah.
You guys can work from home, we cannot. We
So
have to be
true.
out there. So if you
Sure.
need somebody, if you need an ambulance,
Yeah.
we are providing. If you need a room in a hospital, we are
Assisting
trying
with
to
that, yeah.
get it for you. You need an oxygen cylinder delivered somewhere, we are doing that.
All the police.
People who need ration,
Yeah.
we are providing that. And they said we are getting tweets from people saying that our parents or our grandparents are alone in their home, they have nobody, they need food, or today is their birthday. So these guys even bought birthday cakes, and they
Wow.
went to their homes and they cut the cakes with them, and they send them photos of their
That is
parents or grandparents
unbelievable.
cutting cakes. And so amazing. People didn't know this side, and we brought that in this book, and it's so popular, and so many
Yeah, go
kind
for
of so many people.
I'll take that for you.
And like on the first page, what we have done is we straight away kind of give them.
But you know what's interesting is those stories didn't make headline news because
No.
it wasn't death and destruction
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that.
So
let's turn this around so they can have a look.
We provided these numbers, and these numbers are mind-boggling. They have like over 70,000 of their own people who they tested. They had arranged 432,000 migrant workers and laborers sent to their homes by these police who were stuck.
No way.
Migrant. They arranged 100 special trains and 6,600 special buses to carry these people back to their home. 50 of their personnel died
No way.
during serving. They said we have officers who tested positive, who had COVID. When they recovered, they joined back and they said, no, we want to serve again. And you know,
Yeah,
so
let's turn those pages. Let's see some pictures.
So, like, these are all the people who died during COVID, during their service, serving people and serving nations. So incredible. People don't know about all these things. So we try to bring things.
showing some pictures.
They converted their police cars into ambulances, and they just provided to cities. You know,
Unbelievable.
They went out of their way to. They were keeping an eye on the whole the town, and they were receiving. They had a central place. You need anything, call only one number, and they will coordinate it for you.
That is unbelievable.
Yes, so incredible. So they were cooking food for labor that was stuck and packing it hygienically, going out and feeding these people themselves. You know, going beyond their duty. They were distributing masks, so many things, rations.
Unreal.
So unreal things.
So is this book available for people to buy?
So, okay, no, this is free. PDF copy is free.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if I can share the scan code.
Let me just put it in front of. Let's see if we can put it here and
They
get
can
that.
just scan it, or they can download it from the. I will just read out the website.
Yeah, go for
It's,
it. Just onto this one, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, let's bring it back.
So, you have to go to HTTPS Haryana Police, that is HARYANAPOLICE.gov.in, and go to /PDF and /untold.
Okay, great.
So
But we'll try and get a link on that for sure.
Yeah.
But that's I love that. Now, with regards to when you're doing these kind of things, and what I love is that you're telling the untold stories like you've got written there.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it mainstream because they want to show the death, they want to show all of that. That is just such an amazing initiative and book, and I love that you do these things. When you do this, how do you feel? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, and if you are listening, please, if you're liking this, please give us a like and a message. We'd love to hear from you. So when you're going out there, do you ever go, this is crazy, I shouldn't be doing this? Or does it just the story just force you into it?
No, not really, because I think that question was answered way back.
Yeah.
And it was yes.
Yeah.
I want to do it because that's why I have the camera and that's why I go out. Yes. So come whatever may, but you have to do what you love doing, and that's what I love doing, and I keep doing, and I'm so comfortable with these people. I'm so comfortable with the people I visit. When they share their stories, they're sharing something which is so precious and so private to them.
Yeah.
And they share it with passion because they have some kind of expectation, you can call it, from you, that at least you can make their story, give it a voice and take it to people. Some people are very shy. So they don't have the means also to do, but they have a story, and it's not all the time that they want help in return. I mean, the kind of knowledge, the kind of what I will call the medicine, for example.
Yeah.
So I was reading that a report in Newsweek saying that modern doctor only know around 4,000 herbs or something.
Wow.
The tribals know over 40,000. So they treat everything with these herbs, and they do work. I remember my grandmother, I used to play basketball, and you get hurt so much, and when I return, she will make a concoction of turmeric powder, of some white powder, and an oil, and she will mix it, and she will pluck the castor oil plant,
Yes.
that leaf,
Yes.
put it that and wrap it there, and by the morning, I mean, I cannot tell you, like magic, the pain was gone.
That's unreal.
Yeah, so they have all these.
Yeah.
They have all these. So they also expect us to learn from them.
Yes.
We should, and it is happening now. People are, I mean, in exposure, so many talks,
Yeah.
they're saying involve indigenous people to take care of the planet because they have the knowledge.
Yeah.
They know it.
Fair.
They are living with the nature. They are, nature is thriving with them. So let's learn from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
That's unreal.
that's it.
Tell me, I've got two more questions that I'm going to ask. I wanted to know, when do you know to back off of a story? Do you know what I mean? So if you go in and you want to tell the story, but you find resistance from the people that are part of the story, how do you deal with that? Do you respect it, and do you say, okay,
Yeah.
I'll
so
leave it?
so because if you are approaching it with the intent that you want to be the voice for the people, and you want to show what they want you to show, so you respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, but then if you understand, or when you feel that the thing that you're asking is an important component
Yeah.
of that story, because it is going to demystify
Yeah.
or open up and give answers to something. So you take your time, you try and talk to that person, saying that if you can throw some more light
Yeah.
on this aspect, this is how it is going to help.
Got
so
it.
many a time they understand,
Gotcha.
and they said, okay, I will tell you about it. It is something which is close to us, which is kind of passed generation to generation. But yeah, but I see that the benefit, what you're saying is true. So let me tell you how it is. So that also happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the way you go into it with the passion and the honesty with regards to things. That you have to come with that integrity, if I can call it that.
Yeah.
Tell me tips for anyone that's looking at going into documentary photography. What tips would you give them, or tip?
Yeah, so it's always, if I understand that if somebody wants to go into documentary, you have a passion for that. So if you have a passion, then you have to give it that kind of a respect. So what I mean by that is you have to invest your time in that. Do a little research, find out about the subject and about the real issues, and go with that understanding that when you go into documentary, it's going to take time. And it is not about building a portfolio where you can take random pictures and put them in a kind of cohesive set or something and present it. So when you are doing documentary, you are going after a story, you are going after a cause. So do your research, take your time, find the right kind of people who will help you, because you have to get in touch with local people. You have to find fixers, as we call them. These are the people who have some kind of a say in that community. That community respects them. So they get you into places where you cannot go on your own. So like when I was shooting in Arunachal in Zero, they have these Apatani tribals. They are very close thing, and they have this Mayako festival where they do a ceremony where they purify their homes.
Yeah.
And the shaman comes and does this. It's a kind of a 6-hour thing.
Yeah.
So they accepted me into their house during this ceremony only through a person who knows them and who I had been in touch
Yeah.
before. Otherwise, I cannot just walk into their homes, and during this holy kind of sermons are being sung, and they so find connections, get in touch with local photographers. They know the place, and be ready to invest your time, and it will come through. Don't Because when we start a documentary project, many people don't know when it's going to finish, or is it going to finish at all. Yeah, so some projects, like I'm doing a project on faith, it's kind of going on. There's no.
That's how it is.
Yeah, so you keep going with it. You keep doing. So yes, those are the kind of things that you should really start.
Love that advice.
Be
Absolutely.
honest. Be honest. respect that person, have a respect for their culture, because uh, I have a section in a presentation where I say they're bizarre, you're bizarre, maybe they're normal. Okay,
I love that.
so we find it bizarre, but that's how they live. So
Love that.
respect that. That's their culture. That's their way of life. Those rituals are part of their life. So embrace those and focus on telling their story through your photographs and through your videos or work or whatever.
Oh, I absolutely love what you're saying. Last question, going out of obviously this, your camera of choice and your lens of choice.
So I tell you what, I obviously Nikon is my camera, and now D50 is the camera which I'm
Yeah.
using now, and I have that I have actually over 15 lenses.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but they call it the Holy Trinity.
Yes.
And that's like, oh my God, one of the most amazing. I tell you, I fell in River Brahmaputra.
Yeah.
It's one of the most ferocious rivers with my D50, 1424, and an iPhone. The iPhone was fried,
Oh, really? Yeah.
okay, but the D850 and 1424 lived. The only thing I had to do was keep that lens in the back of the car where this,
Yeah,
the whole
sun-
day,
yeah,
because I was traveling, I was
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
road,
yeah.
so it was hitting with the sun and all the moisture was gone.
Yeah.
And next day I said, Bismillah, and I just switched it on. Everything was perfect. I kept shooting. Otherwise
Love
that
that.
project would have gone.
I
So
love it.
I have shot most of my photos with 2470. And actually 2470 saved a day for me in Bali,
Okay.
where I kind of went out and there was I was in a place where there was a cultural program happening, and I
Yeah.
didn't know. I just walked
Yeah.
out from my hotel with just those two. So I shot beautiful portraits. I made videos of their dances.
Yeah.
I took photos of the beach
Yeah.
and whatever. So that 2470 was enough for me for that day. So that's probably the lens of choice for me.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you so much for your time. I just want to ask your social media, Instagram. Can you share it with everyone?
Yeah, so I'm one of those people who do not do much on social media. My
That's fine.
Instagram is Shahid Hashmi. So it's SHAHIDHASHMI. But you will find little things, but I promise, and I keep promising to myself, I'm going to be more active, inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah.
And try and kind of learn from you younger generation who are kind of living that life, and do something for you, and keep bringing to you stories and more photographs from my outings and my adventures.
No, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gents, those of you that are out there, Shahid showed us an amazing insight into documentary photography, talking about the passion, respecting others, and going after what you really believe in, telling those stories to other people, making sure that that voice is heard, respecting those people that you're talking to, honoring their, who they are as people, and then also his gear of choice right now is a Nikon D850, and the lens he goes to is a 2470. He has over 15 different lenses, but he did say that the 2470 is one of them. So those of you that are getting into documentary photography, just go and have a look at this podcast, and obviously look at his socials. That's absolutely great. Thank you so much to all of you that have joined us. Anyone that is in the area at Sharjah, we are at the Exposure Expo. Nikon's got a stand here. We've got Nikon School, we've got trainers, we've got booths with regards to photography, videography, showing the latest Nikon lenses as well as cameras. So come turn by here at Exposure Expo in Sharjah. Other than that, that's it from us here at Frame by Frame. We hope that you learned something new, got a fresh insight into the world of photography or videography. We've got a whole lot more guests coming in today, tomorrow, and obviously during the Exposure Expo. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, all the best.
Thank you, everybody.